is Gigi Scott, and you're listening to the Walk With Me podcast. My guest today is Nancy Hernandez. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Gigi.
You're welcome. It's an honor to have you here today. Now, why don't you start off by telling us more about you and where are you from?
Wow, that's actually a long answer. I'm originally from Honduras, but I was raised in New York City in the Bronx. I grew up there until my early 20s, then moved to the Bay Area in San Francisco and graduated from college in San Francisco State University. I lived out there for about 25 years. I actually founded my company back in 1997. And we've been in business for over 26 years. While I was in college, I actually started my business there. Was there during when internet was just getting started, the dot-com boom and all that. So that was profoundly interesting and chaotic and wonderful all at the same time. It was during the time when millionaires were being created every day, if not every hour. Did that, and then just I think it's now been 13 years. In 2010 I moved to South Florida. I have a lot of family from New York, as you know. New Yorkers are snowbirds, so they migrate down to Florida, and me being in California, I would come here and visit them, and they're like, no, you got to move down here. And I did, and it's beautiful.
I love it. Tell us a little bit more about your company and what inspired you to launch your company.
Very interesting. I was in college for business administration, and while I was there, I was dating someone who later became my husband, and his father needed a flyer to be done. And so I did it for him. He just wanted, a small little flyer to put around his church because he was doing tours to Reno and South Lake Tahoe and all that. And I just created something for him. And the smile on his face when I did it, it just made me, it was so rewarding. And he was able to, do his little hot side hustles way back then in the I think it was 96 or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I know I'm studying for business administration, but I really like marketing. So what I did is I did a minor in marketing and actually graduated with a marketing degree. And while I was in college, my professor really liked my work, and she said, you know what, you're pretty talented, I guess, and I would love for you to do a poster for us. And at the time, it was the City College of San Francisco, and it was a poster to bring in high school students, freshmen, to join a particular class called College Success. Obviously, it prepares you to make sure you stay in college and finish through. And I did it for them. And at first I thought it was just going to be at City College and stuff like that, and maybe in the registrar's office and things like that. And when I came back on my sophomore year, that poster was in almost every single class. And not only that, I was later informed that it was also given out to all the high schools so that the freshmen transferring in would know about that particular class and join that class and be successful. And the sense of, again, helping and rewarding and it just made me say to myself, that's what I want to do. I want to get into design. I want to get into graphics. And, San Francisco was such a plethora of artists and authors and creative people, and every conventions were surrounding me all over the place, that it was just a calling. I was just like, yeah, this is what I was meant to do. And I was also given the opportunity to intern at Ernest Young back then. And if anybody knows Market and California Street out there. So I interned for them as well. And I was working also doing their creative works. And every step along the way that I did more, the more I knew I was in the right place. And now I've been doing it for so long, there's never been a plan B. I've always wanted graphic design, web design, anything to do with helping businesses grow and flourish has just been amazing. And I've been rewarded time and time again. My career has taken me to many different places. I've had clients that have flown me to London, they've flown me to India. I've visited so many states, things like that here too, and it's just been incredible. Something I never really thought. Most people think of designers, they're just in their office and they're, the head down and doing their work. And we do that as well. But part of our job is also learning about our clients. What do they do? What do they want? What are their goals? And that sometimes means, going to visit them, seeing how their procedures are, how you can help them streamline, all those kind of things. And after a while, you become part of their team. So it's opened me up to many different places and a plethora of people, and it's just been incredible. I just never know who's the next person who's going to ring my phone and what their background is. So it's been very rewarding.
Very powerful. Now, tell us a little bit more about what gives you the most joy.
When I hear the wow, I have a small team working with me, and I always tell them, for me, my sense of pride is when I show them my work and they go, wow, or that's cool, or something like that. That's the part that brings me joy. But of course, everybody has their bottom line. Everybody, either if they're a nonprofit, how many donations do they get? How many people they get to help? If they're a B2B company, how do they help other companies grow? If they're B2C, are the consumers satisfied? Because I'm a UX director, and what that stands for is user experience. So when you experience our work, does it make sense to you? When you get onto the website, is everything simple? Is it straightforward? I can't tell you how many times I've visited some sites and I'm like, what are they selling? Because you really got to tell somebody what you're selling in like 3 seconds. And if you don't, they're just going to go someplace else. So to make things, design is very interesting, because while you're supposed to make something complex look very simple. And that's what design is. I like to think God is a designer. You go out there and you see the world, you go, wow, there's a mastermind behind that, and sure enough, yeah, there is. You put some thought into it. Things work.
Amen. That's right. He is the creator of all things. Now, Nancy, tell us a little bit more about your faith and how it has a role in not just your personal life, but also in your business.
Wow. Listen, when things are tough, there's nothing more that gives you comfort than knowing that you have something bigger than yourself, that is always there guiding you, telling you what's right from wrong, from your ethics in business, doing right by people, taking care of them. And God has blessed me in so many ways. Our business has gone through 2008. Our business has gone through COVID. Our business has gone through so many turmoils, and yet we've persevered, because either by helping others, you just never know. When you're down, something will pop up and it'll help you. And in the work that I do, I also had corporate jobs as well along the way. Even while I had my business, at times I worked for corporations, large corporations that are like hundreds of years old, and working in their design departments and stuff like that, and learning from them. And dealing with the bureaucracy, the turmoils, the struggles of the economics, or dealing with someone else who is down in their life. How do you help them? How do you motivate them to keep going, to persevere? And having faith is something that's very comforting to me, and always has been. And I believe always will be. It's just something that's always there. And I just feel totally blessed. I think God has helped me, and I hope in helping me, I help others as well.
Amen. Very powerful. Now, Nancy, what is your best advice to the audience for walking with purpose and living a life of happiness?
Well, it's an old cliche, do what you love, which is true. But at the same time, you got to have focus. You got to have determination. There's always going to be naysayers out there. You can't do that, or it's hard and all this. And yeah, it is. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? Well, God helps those who help themselves. And if you have grit, and that's really, I think, the key. If you just keep going, you can do anything. I have a son, and I told him, start your own company. I don't care if you fail 9 out of 10 times or however it takes. That one success will be rewarding. That's the whole point, and just keep doing. If you feel strongly about something and you think you can provide something that others are not, you have a good idea. Just think of if there's a void somewhere that no one is fulfilling. How do you fulfill that void? And that's what I try to do. Before I even started in design and graphics and web, I used to, work in a hotel industry, hospitality. I started as a housekeeper. I did, worked my way up to accounting and all that, and one of the things that I learned by working in the hospitality industry, and I worked from really nice hotels, the Hyatt, the Hiltons, is customer service. So one of the things I like to bring and to the table, I mean, there's a lot of designers out there. There's a lot of companies that do what I do. But one of the things that I feel that I do, and even my own clients tell me, is service. I answer the phone. I respond to them. I'm not MIA. I don't, if something bad is going to happen or we can't meet a deadline, I'd rather tell you in advance than tell you afterwards. Or if something is not going to work out for you, I look out for my clients. I say, hey, you could get more bang for your buck doing X instead of Z. So for me, customer service is paramount. It's one of the, yes, we have talent. Yes, we know what we're doing, but being able to listen and be there for our clients. And, a lot of them learn, a lot of them don't know anything. I've had startups and I've had, companies that have been around for 20, 30 years and I work with them. But with startups, those are people who don't even know how much a website costs. They'll say, oh, I can do it myself, or my nephew could do it for $500. And then it just lingers there. And it doesn't really have any purpose. But when you help a new client and you show them, and then you see their interest, and then they start, being proactive with you. Or I have lawyers who are clients and they don't have the time to be creating websites, but they appreciate my honesty when I show them why I do the things I do. And I'm proactive with them. So instead of being reactive, what I mean by that is they don't tell me what to do. Well, they could say, I'd like to do X, Y, Z, for sure, of course. But I like to tell them what they can do. So when I have meetings with them, I'll say, yes, we did this last month, and these are the tasks that we completed. And these are the recommendations we have for this month. This is what we should be doing. This is our roadmap for the next quarter or something like that. And they're like, oh, okay. And I bring them on, get their information, get their opinions on this, because they understand their business better than I do. But I know how to get them where they want to go, particularly when it's online. So for me, it's, customer service, helping our clients, and, being there all the time, answering the phone, answering an email when they have a question, at least within 24 hours, being available. I've acquired a lot of clients because they would call me up and they say, hey, listen, I had a designer do my site. I'm trying to reach him. He doesn't return my calls. I think he, left, or he's doing something else now, and I don't know where my files are or anything like that. And I was like, wow, I wouldn't leave my customers hanging,
I love it. Do you have any last words for the audience, Nancy?
All I can say is, if you are out there and you are looking for someone to help you with your design or your new website, or you're looking to rebrand or something like that, find somebody who will show you a little bit first, teach you a little bit first. And more importantly, listen to you. Make sure that person understands what your objectives are, your goals are, and helps you get there and guide you through all the way through. And also, ask for recommendations, especially your friends. If your friends have done website, who did it? How long did it take them to do? I had a neighbor who, when I first moved into the neighborhood, I told her what I did. She was, oh, okay, I got somebody doing my website. I wish I knew sooner. I was like, okay, no worries. And a year later, I caught up with her on the street again. Hey, how you doing? How'd your website turn out? She goes, still hasn't launched. I was shocked. I was like, wow, it's been a year and your site still hasn't launched? And she's like, no. So again, just get recommendations, look at their work, see how fast turnarounds are for them, and make sure they're willing to listen and follow through.
That's very true. And ladies and gentlemen, Nancy and I are actually working together, and she's assisting Life Service Center of America. So I highly recommend Nancy and her services. And Nancy, where can the audience find you?
Well, we have a website. It's adavenue.com. It's spelled ADAVENUE.com. Take a look. Our contact information is on there. Take a look at, all the work that we've done, and also take a look at our staff. Our About Us page. We're out there. We're open, and we have services. If you already have a website, that's fine too. We actually have clients that have been with us 11 years. So we update, maintain, we do search engine optimization, pay-per-clicks. We do things like TV commercials. We have photographers that if you need somebody to go to your place of business and take your headshots or take pictures of your organization, we do that. And we do that internationally. We deal with car dealerships, nonprofits, all that. So, I'd love to hear from your audience. I'd love to help them out. We do one-on-one consultations just to kind of feel you out and make sure it's a good fit for both of us too. If I'll be honest with you, if it's something we can't or won't do, we're picky too. We've been in business for a while now, so we can't be a little picky, but I'll tell you what, we will tell you what's the best next step for you. And we're not here pushing anybody. You can take your time, make your decision. And we've been here for a long time, so we'll be here when you're ready. We're ready.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out Nancy on her website. That's adavenue.com and all of her social media platforms. And Nancy, thank you again for being a guest on the Walk With Me podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
God bless.
You likewise. Take care.